Liverpool want to sign the incredibly talented player who has been likened to Sergio Aguero. With the Premier League coming to a standstill due to the World Cup, Liverpool continue to plan for the remainder of the season. The January transfer window is also on the horizon, and the Reds can enter the market to strengthen their ranks. Due to the midfield crisis, injuries, aging players and contracts that will expire in the summer, very important transfer periods are coming for Liverpool. Both the reinforcements to be made to the midfield and the names to be transferred to the offensive line are eagerly awaited. Klopp has to make a change in his staff, and he plans to make this change with young names. Especially considering the depth problem in some positions, there is more than one player transferred to the same region. At the beginning of these positions is the midfielder. According to the information conveyed by the Ghana press, the Reds set their sights on a top talent that shines both in the midfield and in attack. The player in question is Mohamed, one of the highest-rated young players in the game. According to the information transferred, it was reported that Liverpool scouts will watch the Ajax ace, which Ghana will face Portugal at the opening of the World Cup today. The Reds are hopeful they can bring Kudus to Anfield in January. However, they will likely face stiff competition for his signature. It is reported that he is interested in Mohamed Kudus in clubs such as Everton, Milan, Juventus and Borussia Dortmund as well as Liverpool. Kudus are enjoying a real breakthrough season in the Netherlands as they look close to leaving Ajax in the summer transfer window. The offensive midfielder has scored 10 goals and provided 2 assists in 21 games for the Eredivisie champion. Kudus is also an incredibly versatile player. He can play a variety of positions, including offensive midfielder, right wing, and striker. Even better news for Liverpool is that it said last week that it is open to moving away from the Netherlands in the future. When asked if Aljamain Dagblad is committed to a long-term future at Ajax, he replied, "Not necessarily. I'm a player who likes to challenge himself. This is my 3rd season here. We'll see what the future brings. The most important thing is that I continue to perform for the team and the rest will naturally follow later," said. Also, Liverpool's transfer target Mohamed Kudus named Thiago Alcantara one of his biggest inspirations. And indeed, this isn't the first time Kudus has mentioned his admiration for the Liverpool player. In an interview with Ajax TV last month, he revealed that Thiago is the actor whose game he most wants to model. "I enjoyed Thiago's play as a kid. I love creativity and the joy of playing," explains Kudus. "When I played in Denmark, a friend of mine got a jersey from him. It was great. The shirt hangs in my house and I'm proud of it. Sometimes he plays 6, but despite his defensive duties, he doesn't lose his creativity. Wherever he plays, he always finds the balance between defense and attack. I want to play that way," said. Kudus looks like a great transfer option for Liverpool. A player who can both play a role in the midfield and be effective in attack is an impressive option for Klopp. Former Ajax coach Erik ten Hag previously described Kudus as an incredible talent. Ajax's Daily Blind compared his club teammate to Barcelona and Dutch ace Frenkie de Jong. "It looks a bit like Frenkie," Blind told Ajax TV via Football Ghana in 2020. "You can see he has a lot of quality. I think he'll definitely help us on our way. He's a good player," he said. On Twitter, fans compared Kudus to Sergio Aguero, Eden Hazard, Gabriel Jesus and Prime Firmino. At first glance, the Ghanaian man's game doesn't look much like Liverpool's number 6. He looks like a much more offensive player, somewhere between a number 10 and a fake 9. But perhaps the Reds recruiting team has identified something that could be worked on to strengthen Liverpool's midfield. Could he be Thiago's successor? Kudus can be a smart signature and transferable at reasonable prices. The star, who moved to Ajax for around £8 million in 2020, has risen steadily rather than dramatically. A good World Cup could change that, but it's definitely worth considering. Liverpool are sending back their new signing. It's hard to see Liverpool spending £32 million to sign Brazilian midfielder Arthur Melo from Juventus to a permanent deal, according to sources close to the club. Arthur was signed to a loan deal by Liverpool with an option to buy towards the final stages of the transfer window in response to injury problems in the midfield at the start of the season. Things didn't quite go according to plan as Arthur has only managed to play 19 minutes for Liverpool so far. In the embarrassing 4-1 loss against Napoli in the UEFA Champions League opening match, play from the bench was included, and it could be his first and last game in his Liverpool career. After that match, the player underwent a series of tests and it was found that he had a so-called serious injury. The Brazilian suffered a thigh injury that ruled out the player until 2023. Therefore, it makes sense for Liverpool not to continue the deal any longer, as the reason for the transfer was not achieved. With speculation that Liverpool will place a high value on a world-class midfielder, the money saved from not signing Arthur permanently could help us a lot in achieving the primary goals. Jude Bellingham is said to be part of a bidding war next summer in which Liverpool is also considered one of the seriously interested parties. It began to be conveyed when there was interest for Declan Rice and Konrad Laimer. It is not wise for the club to use a £32 million option for Arthur Melo, which is headed for names like this. As of now, however, there is no clarity as to the direction the club would choose to take, with the FIFA World Cup intervening. There aren't many in Liverpool's current midfield who could work with a high run rate to allow the fullbacks to attack. This raises the problem of interruption and disorganization of the main source of attack. This is one of the biggest reasons for the disappointing performance in the first half of the season. Therefore, it is very important that the priority is to strengthen the midfield in the upcoming transfer windows. In the Jorginho Wijnaldum die, a player who can play as a box-to-box midfielder would be welcome. Arthur is seen as an example of the club's poor planning in the transfer market. Frankly, it was a great irony for the club that a player who needed to recover the midfield could not contribute due to injury. The amazing midfielder made World Cup history just months after Liverpool bid to sign him. Former Liverpool transfer target Gavi has made history as Spain's youngest World Cup goalscorer. The 18-year-old scored a fantastic goal to put his country ahead 5-0 against Costa Rica. At 18 years and 110 days, this represented a new record. A bright few months are closing in for Gavi. Despite appearing to reject Liverpool's advances over the summer, he has been awarded both the Golden Boy Award and the Copa Cup in recent weeks. Both of these awards came with some controversy. But the Barcelona young player on the world stage shows why the Reds are ready to void all other contract offers to sign him. Unfortunately, Gavi signed a new deal to stay at Barca. As they transitioned from strength to strength, Liverpool were left to ponder what might happen. For a while it seemed like a real possibility that Liverpool would snatch Gavi from Barcelona. Throughout the summer, rumours circulated that the Reds were ready to trigger the relatively low release clause. On top of that, they were said to be offering the youngsters more than other clubs were willing to. However, the most likely scenario always felt like Gavi staying at his hometown club. Barely past her 17th birthday, she has the potential to become a true legend in Catalonia. The same can be said for the Spanish national team. Fans and players around the world were perhaps stunned by Spain boss Luis Enrique's dismissal of Liverpool's Thiago Alcantara. But by looking at both Pedri's and Gavi's abilities, you can begin to understand his plan. It looks like the fish that escaped has been big for Liverpool.